It often starts with something so small you barely notice, a little itch, a bit of blurred vision, maybe just some irritation you brush off as nothing. But what if those tiny changes weren't random at all? What if your eyes were quietly signaling that something much more serious was happening inside your body? In the next few minutes, you'll see how subtle shifts in your eyes can reveal hidden transformations in your health, clues that most people miss until it's too late. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last sign is so deceptively simple, almost everyone overlooks it. Most people think they know where their money goes, but the truth is, it slips through cracks like water in your hands. Wealthy people don't guess, they know. That's why tracking every single dollar is such a game changer. Using a budgeting app like Mint or an app, or even an old-school notebook, makes you way more aware. Awareness is power, and when it comes to personal finance, it's the first step toward real control. Think of it like in The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort tracked his clients' money obsessively, only used it for chaos. You're flipping that idea for good. When you track your own expenses, you're not restricting yourself, you're building a map. That map tells you where your money mindset is today and where it needs to go tomorrow. Finance tips don't get more practical than this. Write it down, and suddenly, you're in charge. Here's the kicker. When people start tracking, they often realize they're spending hundreds on invisible things like food delivery or random subscriptions. Imagine cutting just $200 a month in leaks. That's $2,400 a year you could put into investments. That's how to make money without earning a dime more. Financial psychology kicks in the moment you see the pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. A friend once told me he thought budgeting was boring, like watching paint dry. But once he started writing down every expense, it felt more like binge-watching Breaking Bad. Each purchase was a plot twist, revealing hidden habits he didn't even know he had. That awareness gave him the power to swap waste for wealth. That's the beauty of financial education. It's not about math, it's about seeing your own story. And here's the best part. Once you master tracking, you realize money habits are less about restriction and more about direction. You're steering the wheel now, not drifting with the wind. But knowing where your money goes is just step one. The real magic happens when you decide where it should go first, and that's exactly what we're about to hit next. Here's the deal, most people pay everyone else first, the landlord, the bills, even Starbucks. And guess what? By the time they think about saving, nothing's left. Wealthy people flip the script. Paying yourself first means putting 5 to 10% of your income straight into savings or investments before touching a single bill. That habit builds wealth quietly, almost sneaky, but it works. It's like Jerry Maguire yelling, "Show me the money." Only this time, you're showing it to your future self. When you stash that cash right away, you're sending a signal to your brain that you come first. That's not selfish, it's smart financial psychology. You're building personal finance muscles that stack up year after year. Those little deposits? They compound into big-time freedom later. Think about it. If you save $300 every month for 10 years in an index fund averaging 8% returns, you'd have around $55,000. That's not pocket change, that's peace of mind. Finance tips like this aren't flashy, but they're the ones that actually move the needle. And the crazy part? You don't feel the pinch because it's automatic. It's gone before you even notice. One guy I coached thought he couldn't save because his paycheck was too small. But when he started paying himself first, even just $50 a month, it built momentum. It was like The Office, when Jim kept pulling pranks on Dwight, small, consistent actions that built into something hilarious and unstoppable. That $50 grew into thousands, and more importantly, it rewired his money mindset. And here's the kicker, paying yourself first isn't about the amount, it's about the habit. It's proof that you believe your future matters. Once you start, you'll never see money the same way again. But then comes the real test. How do you stop money from slipping away in the moment? That's where the 24-hour rule comes in, and trust me, it changes everything. Impulse spending is like quicksand, it looks harmless until you're sinking in debt. That's where the 24-hour rule comes in. Whenever you feel that urge to buy something non-essential, wait one full day. If you still want it tomorrow, cool, but most of the time the desire fades. This tiny habit saves thousands over time and protects your money mindset. Remember Confessions of a Shopaholic? Rebecca couldn't resist swiping her card, and her closet looked like a department store. That's what happens when impulse wins. The 24-hour rule flips the script, giving you space to breathe and think. It's financial psychology in action, training your brain to value long-term goals over instant hits of dopamine. Let's put numbers on it. Say you avoid just 2 $100 impulse buys per month by waiting a day. That's $2,400 a year you could put into personal finance goals, maybe an ETF, maybe a side hustle, maybe paying off debt. Finance tips don't get more practical than this. It's like spotting money leaks and patching them with one simple habit. A friend once told me applying this rule felt like living in Stranger Things. At first, the impulse was the monster from the upside down, loud, tempting, almost impossible to fight. But when he paused for 24 hours, it was like turning on the lights, the monster shrank. That breathing room gave him control, and his financial education skyrocketed with it. And here's the secret, living by the 24-hour rule isn't just about saving money. It's about proving to yourself that you run the show, not your cravings. You're building discipline with every pause, creating habits that stack wealth instead of clutter. But hey, discipline gets even easier when you don't rely on willpower at all, and that's where automation takes over. Here's the truth, willpower is overrated. If you're relying on discipline alone to save or invest, you'll lose the fight eventually. That's why wealthy people automate. Setting up automatic transfers to your savings, retirement accounts, or brokerage apps makes wealth building happen on autopilot. You don't even have to think about it, and that's the beauty of this finance tip. It's kinda like Iron Man. Tony Stark didn't build his empire by manually tightening screws, he automated everything with Jarvis. That's the mindset here, let systems do the heavy lifting. Automating deposits isn't just convenient, it rewires your financial psychology. You start to see investing not as an optional chore, but as a normal part of life, like brushing your teeth. Picture this, you set $200 to automatically transfer into an S&P 500 index fund every month. 10 years later, without lifting a finger, you'd likely have around $36,000 growing steadily. That's how to make money while you sleep. Personal finance doesn't have to be stressful. With automation, it becomes second nature, and your money habits start building wealth silently. A buddy of mine once told me setting up auto investments felt like putting his future on cruise control. He compared it to the Mandalorian. Just like Mando trusts his ship to fly through hyperspace, he trusted his automatic transfers to take him to financial freedom. That trust let him focus on life instead of stressing over every dollar. And here's where it gets powerful, when you automate, you stop relying on daily motivation. You've already locked in success. But here's the catch, as your income grows, the temptation to inflate your lifestyle grows too. The next step is learning to keep your lifestyle just one step behind your income, and that's where true wealth sticks. Here's the trap, most people get a raise and instantly upgrade their life. New car, bigger apartment, fancier dinners. It feels good in the moment, but it kills long-term wealth. The wealthy play it different. They let their income grow while keeping their lifestyle just one step behind. That gap is where money habits turn into freedom. Think about Entourage. Vince chased fame, but Turtle was the one who slowly stacked his cash, investing in businesses while living simple. That's the kind of financial psychology that wins long-term. Living slightly below your means doesn't mean living small, it means living smart. It's financial education in action, protecting your personal finance goals. Here's some math. If your income jumps from $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and you keep living on $4,000, that extra $1,000 could become $12,000 a year in investments. Over 10 years with an 8% return, that's nearly $180,000. That's how to make money work for you without even touching a side hustle. A friend of mine once compared this habit to the Dark Knight. Bruce Wayne had unlimited money, but he didn't flaunt it every day. Instead, he invested in building systems that made Gotham stronger. You don't need Wayne-level billions, just a mindset that values growth over show. That's where true wealth shows up, quietly and consistently. And here's the kicker, keeping your lifestyle in check isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. You're choosing delayed gratification, and the payoff is massive. But to really make it work, you can't just set and forget. You've got to review your progress and make adjustments each month, and that's exactly what we'll hit next. Wealth doesn't grow by accident, it grows by attention. That's why the wealthy review their money every single month. It's like looking under the hood of your car, you catch problems before they blow up. In personal finance, this habit keeps your money mindset sharp and aligned with your goals. Small adjustments create huge long-term wins. Think of Moneyball. The Oakland A's didn't beat the system by guessing, they tracked every stat and made constant tweaks. You've got to do the same with your finances. Cancel unused subscriptions, renegotiate bills, shift money toward better investments. This is financial education in real life, spotting opportunities and cutting waste before it drains you. Here's an example. Let's say you shave off just $50 in forgotten expenses each month. Over a year, that's $600. Invested with an average 8% return, in 20 years, it grows to over $2,800. That's the power of compound growth. Finance tips like this may sound small, but they're the secret sauce of how to make money build itself. One of my clients once told me he treated his monthly review like watching House of Cards. Every move felt strategic, like pulling strings behind the scenes. By checking his spending and adjusting goals monthly, he felt like he was running the show, not reacting to it. That shift boosted his confidence and rewired his financial psychology. And here's the beauty, you're not aiming for perfection, you're aiming for progress. Each review is a checkpoint, proof that you're steering your ship. But numbers alone don't fuel motivation. To really lock this habit in, you've got to add gratitude and purpose to the mix, and that's where the final step takes things to a whole new level. Money habits aren't just about numbers, they're about mindset. Gratitude changes how you see money. When you're thankful for what you already have, you stop chasing every shiny thing and start managing wisely. That shift in financial psychology makes you calmer, smarter, and more intentional with personal finance decisions. And it's a wonderful life. George Bailey didn't feel rich, but his gratitude for family and community revealed he was wealthier than he thought. That's the vibe here. Practicing gratitude grounds you, reminding you that wealth isn't only about dollars, it's about meaning. Finance tips get deeper when they tie money to purpose. Here's something powerful. Studies show that people who write down 3 things they're grateful for daily are 25% happier. Imagine mixing that habit with tracking your money and reviewing your finances. You'd build not only wealth but joy. That's how to make money serve you, not the other way around. A student I worked with once said gratitude felt like his secret weapon. He compared it to Friday Night Lights, where Coach Taylor always reminded the team, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Gratitude gave him clear eyes about his spending and full heart about his progress. That combination supercharged his financial education. And let's not forget stewardship. Luke 16 verse 10 says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." Managing money well isn't about perfection, it's about responsibility. If you can handle $500 wisely, you'll be ready for $5,000, then $50,000. And that's where the journey really takes off. Remember how overwhelming it felt to constantly compare yourself to others, watching money slip through your fingers no matter how hard you worked? Now you've seen the path, the 7 money habits that actually build lasting wealth. You've learned how to track every dollar, pay yourself first, live by the 24-hour rule, automate your investments, keep your lifestyle just below your income, review and adjust monthly, and practice gratitude. These steps aren't theory, they're actionable habits that anyone can start today. Now it's time to take action. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the tips that will transform your relationship with money. Every new habit you implement compounds, just like your investments. Think of this as leveling up your personal finance game every single day, step by step, habit by habit. If you're ready to go even deeper, I've put together a special program, Holistic Health. Nourish your mind, balance your finances, transform your life. It's designed to teach you exactly how to create passive income streams, eliminate debt, and maintain mental clarity under financial pressure. Click the link in the pinned comment now and start transforming your finances today. It's your time. Check out the material in the pinned comment and take the next step toward lasting freedom. Remember, the only path that matters is yours. The habits you start now compound into a life where money works for you, not the other way around. You've got this, so start small, start consistent, and watch your wealth mindset grow. Your future self will thank you.